welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to play the guitar solo from the classic Anthrax song, Caught in a Mosh. Now, you may have noticed that there's a harmony part to this solo for the second half, but you don't need to play the harmony. It actually sounds pretty good without it, but of course I'm going to show you that part too. All right, let's jump on into it. Section 1 is a short one, and it goes like this. Now I'll play it slowly for you. Now, if you're going to tackle this whole solo, this part should be pretty easy for you, but I'll explain really quickly. We start with a unison bend, right? You've got the 14th fret of the B string played at the same time as the 16th fret of the G, and you're bending up on only the G string, a full step, and then giving it vibrato, like this. Now, with the rest of it, it's pretty quick. It's just a little kind of burst of notes there. And quite often I see people add the 14th fret of the B at the beginning also, like this. But it goes by so fast, I don't think people are going to notice if you play it either way, but this is the way I play it. One more time. All right, section 2, another easy one, goes like this. Let me play that slowly for you. There's really not much more to explain with that one. Let's keep going. All right, section 3 goes like this. Here it is slowly. There's not much to really call out here other than the first 5 notes are palm muted. So here's the whole thing slowly one more time. Section 4 goes like this. Let me play that slowly now, and then we'll dissect it. Now, the first thing I want to call out here is the bending at the 15th fret. You'll notice that it starts with a pre-bend, and hopefully you know what that is, but just in case, I'll explain it. You bend the note up before you hit it. Okay, so bend up at the 15th fret, a full step, hit the note, bring it down, and then you're going to bring it back up. You're actually going to go back up slower than you went down. Okay, so you're going to feel that, kind of dig into that bend on the way back up, and then give it a wide vibrato, short wide vibrato at the top. So here it is one more time. And then with the rest of this section, you'll notice that I intentionally put 2 spaces in the tab between certain notes where I wanted to really emphasize the timing. So listen to the rest of it played slowly. So here's the whole thing one more time slowly. All right, section 5 goes like this. Now let me slow that down for you. So this part shouldn't give you too much trouble if you're going to play the whole solo, but just keep in mind where I've notated the palm mutes. And of course at the end we've got a whammy bar dip, and I just estimated 2.5 steps. That's a pretty common way to see this tabbed, but just go with what feels right when you dive down. Okay, so now we're going to play the harmonized parts, and I'm going to show you first the main way to play it, the main solo line, and this is the one you want to play if you only have one guitar. I think it's going to sound good with just one guitar. This is the one you want to play. So we'll start with section 6, and it goes like this. Let me slow that down for you, and then we'll dissect it. So with that first bend, again, you want to kind of, I like to say, dig into it, right? You're going to kind of take your time going up. You don't want to go up too fast in the bend and give it a wide vibrato at the top. And then at the very end with the last bend, a lot of people miss that. They'll just play that 13th fret on the B string and they'll give it a vibrato or something, or maybe they'll bend up and then right back down. But what you actually do is when you play that 13th fret note at the end, you're going to hold it for just a little bit and then bend up. So here's the whole thing one more time at regular speed and then slowly. Section 7 goes like this. This part should be pretty easy. Just pay attention that the first 3 notes are played a little bit quicker than the other notes, right? Here it is one more time, or normal speed and then slow. All right, section 8 goes like this. And let me slow that down for you. Now this part shouldn't take much explaining. You're just going to pick every note, right? It's kind of like just a rapid burst of picking. Now this is the fingering that I find to be the most comfortable, okay? You may want to play it a little bit differently. For example, when we get to the 12th fret of the G string, it might be more comfortable for you to take it up here to the 17th fret of the D string to start it off and go like this. So experiment around and find out what works best for you in terms of where to play those last 8 notes. You may find it more comfortable in a different position, but this is what works best for me. Section 9 goes like this. Now you'll notice it's pretty much, or it's almost the same thing as section 6. We just add 1 note at the beginning. And that 1 note at the beginning, I often miss it when I play this. It goes by so quickly, you can probably leave it out and most people won't notice, but it's there. Now here's section 10, and this is the same as section 7. All right, here's section 11. Now let me play that slowly for you. Now you can see for the first 2/3 of this, the majority of it, it's the same as section 8. We just kind of end a little bit differently. So there's really not a lot to explain here other than you want to pick every note. Now that said, if you find it uncomfortable to play, to pick every note, you can do some hammer-ons, and I think most people won't notice. But you know I always try to teach you guys exactly like the original. But again, I don't think most people will notice if you decide to hammer on some of those notes. So here's the whole thing slowly one more time. Okay, now we get to section 12, which is the final part of the main lead guitar solo, and it goes like this. Now if you've made it this far, this one probably doesn't take a lot of explanation, but with the first bend up at the 22nd fret of the high E, you're going to hold that for a bit and apply some vibrato, and then with the second bend at the 22nd fret, you bend up, hold it for a little bit, no vibrato, and then slide down. Now the last thing I want to say about this section is that oftentimes when I see this guitar solo tabbed, I've seen it tabbed wherein you're not playing this part as the final part of the main solo. They attribute this part to the harmony and the part that I'm going to show you from the harmony to this one. They kind of have it backwards, which really makes no sense to me because if you're playing it without a harmony guitar, this is the way you want to end it. All right, let's move into the harmony part now. So here's section 13, the first part of the harmony. Now let me play that slowly for you. Now just like we did in section 6 with the corresponding part to this, at the beginning you're gonna bend up, kind of dig into that bend and give it a wide vibrato at the top. Then go like this. And then once again, you've got that note at the end that you're going to bend up on after you hold it for just a tiny bit. Kind of dig into that last bend too. Now section 14 goes like this. I'll play it at normal speed and then slowly. Section 15 goes like this. Now Now let me slow that down for you. All right, section 16 is pretty much the same thing as section 13 with that little note leading off at the beginning that comes by really quickly. Again, you can leave that note out if you want, but it's in there. Now let me slow that down for you. Section 17, which is the same thing as section 14. Then we have section 18, which goes like this. I'll play it normal speed and then slowly. And then finally, section 19 goes like this. Alright, that was my lesson on how to play the guitar solo from Anthrax's Caught in a Mosh. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below and I will attempt to answer them as time allows. Until next time, rock on.